Hope you're having a great day, or as good of a day as possible. And I was just, I was applying, or had applied for this job that said it was teaching creative writing online, and the instructions that I got made no sense to me for like a creative writing class, and but then I had it come to me, well, I could talk about uh, rhyming poetry and Keats. And then I couldn't access the website, so um, I'm doing this instead. And to continue talking about poetry and democracy, I'll I hope to talk for a few minutes here about John Keats's poetry, my experience of it, and again, the way I'm defining democracy for these talks is the experience of equality with other human beings, and uh, and I don't intend to convey that any of these poets or their work were, completely pure, perfect experiences of that. Just ways, I guess, that they've allowed me to experience what, for me, is democracy. Um, and Let me see if I can start out by reciting maybe one of my favorite sonnets, um, When I Have Fears. When I have fears that I may cease to be, before my pen has gleaned my teeming brain, before high-piled books and charactery hold like rich garners the full ripened grain, when I behold upon the night's starred face huge cloudy symbols of a high romance, and think that I may never live to trace their shadows with the magic hand of chance, and when I fear, fair creature of an hour, that I shall never look upon thee more, never have relish in the fairy power of unreflecting love, then on the shore of the wide world I stand alone and think, till love and fame to nothingness do sink. I love the musicality of the poem, the just intense sense of lyricism that I get from it. And It strikes me saying that um, it's a poem that I can enjoy the sounds of very much, whether or not I know what it means. And For me, that's a democratic experience in itself because it says to me that I can come to the poem without a lot of prior knowledge that would give me um, clear meanings of all of the words and still get something out of it. And That might be true of a lot of Yeats's other, or Keats's other poems too. But this one, for me, also is a democratic experience because he's describing a subjective emotional state um, that to me is a very relatable one. Uh, just being kind of blown away by how everything passes in this material realm, uh, or that's my own reading of it, and I believe that's something that a lot of people could relate to, and I mean I feel a connection with it that doesn't seem like it has has to be propped up by a lot of prior knowledge or anything like that. And with other poems by Keats, also, I believe that the beauty of his language makes them more accessible um, to maybe a greater variety of readers. And like um, on first looking into Chapman's Homer, it's about a specific book that not a lot of people might have read, or a specific pair of books, I guess, because Chapman translated both the Iliad and the Odyssey. Um, or he might have read them out of one book. I don't know. But I mean, it's to me the sound is just really beautiful. Much have I traveled in the realms of gold, in many goodly states and kingdoms seen. Round many western islands have I been, which bards in fealty to Apollo hold. And the rest of it, it's so sonorous and sibilant, maybe. I mean, it's really the sounds of it I find very pleasing, and his his poem to Autumn, I find the same way, and maybe all the rest of them too. I love the way. I mean, his ear for the English language to me is just unparalleled. I don't mean that as like he's better or worse than others. Just he had something distinctly special, I believe, and even his poem or attempt at one that could have been an epic. Um, the Fall of Hyperion. Um, from what I remember, is like a lyrical kind of experience, a very very pleasant one. Um, maybe it's good in a way that he wasn't able to go through with that. If I remember right, he kind of bumped up against the legacy of Milton and couldn't get past that. And but still, his long poem Endymion, which could be considered epic in some ways, um, it's lovely. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Um, and his own way with poetry, and I don't mean to pick on Milton. uh, Milton maybe famously talked about having uh, immortality as kind of his ambition, and maybe Keats did too. But the way his kind of image or the way his story maybe has been preserved or handed down, and my experience of it is like in his correspondence with Fanny Burney or Fanny Braun, his sort of muse. There was that movie Bright Star um, that I found really good about their relationship, and she was somebody he tried to talk about poetry to in a way that made it accessible. Um, from my reading, rather than trying to seem like the authority. Um, and like his other letters of his, like his letter that talks talks about negative capability. That's a term that's I've encountered a lot and been helped by. It was a letter to a member of his family, if I remember right. And so once again, it seemed like he really tried to be approachable in his poetry and his discussions of it. And I believe that, however much that attempt reaches readers today, and I mean, maybe it reaches many and doesn't reach many others, but I believe that that's something that he genuinely made an effort at that I find democratic for sure. So, thanks. Hope you have a great day.